So y'all know sometimes I just like to get on here and kiki and talk like it's just you and me. And most recently it came to mind that Megan Thee Stallion dropped her latest single EP, but nobody's talking about it. And so I want to get into why I feel like no one is talking about it and why we should be paying attention. So I'm Denise Brady. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. I practice in Long Beach, California. And I'm really into pop culture. And most recently with her dropping this album, to me, it's been crickets, y'all. She dropped the album on Friday, single. She dropped the single on Friday. And in the beginning, there was a lot of like attention due to the nature of the lyrics, due to, shading of the skin, because the body be bodying, okay? But to me as a therapist, I'm kind of shocked, but at the same time not surprised that no one is paying attention to what really matters. We live in an era where people are so caught up in clickbait, that sensationalize things about her relationship with Tory Lanez, her most recent relationship, and that's all people are talking about. But really, to me as a therapist, it's a cry for help. It's a cry for, I'm going through some things, some depression, some anxiety, but nobody cares, okay? You know why no one cares? Because the lies, the sensationalism of her relationships, the court case, all that stuff is more entertaining than the fact that she is depressed. She has anxiety. She's going through trauma. She's trying to heal. And we always talk about breaking the stigma, trying to overcome things. In the media, people talk about mental health, but in reality, I don't think people really care. People only care about what makes them money. And I think at times, even though we weaponize mental health, we see like these different buzzwords. And at the end of the day, mental health does not make dollars. Okay. So in her lyrics, she's talking about sometimes, she has bad days. As she said in her last album, what was it? Traumatized? Traumazine. She talked about her anxiety. Sometimes she has bad days. Sometimes she just doesn't want to be bothered. We all have them days. I do too. But because who she is, people want to hear more about her body, her relationships. But what about her anxiety? What about her depression? What about the trauma she went through the incident with Tory Lanez, the court case, losing friendships, grieving her mother? And she's doing this, to me, all alone. Okay, she has the guidance of a manager and those type of people, but those people make money off of her. She doesn't really have, I think, genuine relationships are people she can really reach out to let them know, I am hurting. Her lyrics say it, but no one's paying attention to it. And for me, it's sad because we often see how after the fact, when these celebrities are no longer here, we see the RIPs, how could this happen? How did I miss this? What went wrong? They have so much money. How can they be depressed? Money, fame, to me, brings more depression, more anxiety. That money, all that stuff will only cover up the pain for so long. And then you have to sit with yourself and recognize that was all a Band-Aid. Really dealing with your depression, your anxiety. And I hope that Megan Thee Stallion does not become somebody that we have to put the prayer hands in the chat. She's asking for help. She's crying out for help, but people do not care. People don't care. People want to talk more about mental health. People want more transparency. They want to connect more with celebrities. Some people have these parasocial relationships, but when a celebrity really talks about what they're going through, it falls on deaf ears. And we need to focus more on being transparent. We need to focus on when people are transparent, letting them know like we hear you, we see you. A lot of people can relate to some of the things that she's going through, some of the things she's gone through with her relationships in the public eye, some of the things that she's going through behind the scenes, that depression, that anxiety, but there's this pressure to always show up as Megan Thee Stallion. Who is Megan outside of that? Do people really want to know? Do they really want to care? I just wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about how the true thing is that her mental health is not in a stable position right now. But everyone only cares about her dating life, who she sleeps with, how many people she sleeps with, and we need to change that narrative. We need to focus more on mental health, making sure one another is okay, creating balance where People can be honest about what they're going through. Until then, I think people won't care. They'll focus more on what makes money. Clicks, the bait. That's all people care about, not mental health. But let me know your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on this whole, the cobra shedding the skin. Was that a metaphor for some other things? We can get into it. I appreciate you guys' time. And I got a client, so I will see you next time.